Imagine what our society would be like under the surface, upside down, in a three-dimensional world, the marine world. The dolphin. Intelligent, organized, quick. He dominates the oceans like we dominate the continents. Without his group, he is nothing. For all dolphins, staying together means their survival. At first sight, their lives seem simple and ordered, but a deeper look reveals a complex social organization. The spring sunshine signals the end of the North Atlantic storms. The Hebrides Islands, a labyrinth of chopped-up lands separated by the ocean from Scotland. Lighthouses have been built here by navigators to provide guidance at all times. One morning, a dolphin gets lost in this maze. From madness or despair, he turns in circles. Could he have been carried away by the current? Let's go up to the Gulf Stream, the warm current born in the Bahamas that ends its course on the Scottish coast. At its source, a dolphin lives in a kingdom of white sands and turquoise blue waters. Under the Bahamas sun, with age, the Gulf Stream dolphin's skin gets covered with marks. Their pods are disorganized, even anarchic. Only mother-young family structures exist. Equality of the sexes is the rule. Neither harem, nor single partner, nor dolphin dominate. Their favorite pastime? To construct and deconstruct the groups at random. But when night falls, around the islands and the atolls, the wind dies down. Discipline takes over. Groups reform. When light fades, the dolphin's hearing takes over from his sight. He finds his companions by their whistles. Even in complete darkness, each dolphin can imagine the spatial arrangement of the others, a sort of three-dimensional mental picture. Then this mental image is enriched by information from dolphins nearby. Direction, speed, depth, activity, and especially the presence of prey. The prey is mostly fish and squid. At night time, they come up to the surface, like this Indian threadfish. The dolphins who locate the prey inform the others of its presence. Even better, they share the prey. Without the group, it is difficult for the dolphins to eat adequately. An isolated individual, lost in the high Scottish latitudes like this one, could wander for a long time on an empty stomach. For the time being, he calls out in vain. He still hasn't found his own kind. Coming back to the tropical zone, outcrops of rock, also lost in the ocean's immensity, form a landmark for marine life. Having hunted all night, an enigmatic black dolphin is drawn towards these turbulent waters. Piponecephala. This is the name our scientists have given him. Translated, it means melonhead, a nickname for a little-known dolphin. The mountains that spring up from the Pacific Ocean are flanked by tormented reliefs where the trade winds break. In the middle of these churning waters that tear the Nuku-Hiva cliffs in the Marquesas archipelago, we witness a curious sight. Regulated like metronomes, at a set time, the melon-headed whales abandon their vast hunting territory. With a full stomach, they cross dozens of kilometers at water level. Their conical head plows easily through the surface. Groups form by affinity. The traveling companions know their destination. It's always the same. Every day, at the same time, dozens of them, hundreds soon, all alike in appearance. Their destination is Topatuoho Point, a minuscule rocky outcrop on several kilometers of coast. Why here? Nobody knows. The recognized goal of this gathering is to sleep in the sun. The melon-headed whale rests only if flanked by hundreds of his peers, and always at the surface. Not only does the sun heat the animal, but submits it to high radiation. Like all clear water dolphins, its back is highly pigmented. The long dives are broken by periods of breathing, also in unison. The melon-headed whale keeps his lungs inflated so he can float. In reality, the afternoon naps together provide efficient protection. While some idle at the surface, others keep a lookout. In a three-dimensional world, danger can come from anywhere. Everyone in the group takes his turn on guard duty. The sentries continually exchange information. Underwater, there is a cacophony of noise, organized uproar. This is the exact structural principle of the Melonheaded Whale Society. Like an open telephone line, the cries emitted are heard by everyone. The signal can be modulated in intensity or in frequency to transmit a message rich in information. Each melon-headed whale is able to recognize his neighbor thanks to his whistle, personal to him alone. In the range of frequency that we can capture, it is impossible for our ear to determine who is who and who does what. Unfortunately, the melon-headed whale has natural marks on the skin so we can identify them. This is the case with Boss and Scar. The first has a white mark at the base of his head. The second has a mark on the right flank. Boss and Scar are inseparable. Every morning they stroll together. But their twosome is flexible. The fact that they are both mature males has brought them together, and they willingly accept to swim with their neighbors, most often mature males. This enormous gash is proof that dolphins often encounter danger. Most of the time, sharks attack across the dead angle in the field of vision. During a dolphin's lifetime, some 35 years, shark attacks are rare, but this puts constant pressure on the group's organization, a group of cooperative friends. This rattling noise is not a recording problem, it is a series of waves that the melon-headed whale gives out to locate his peers. Among gregarious dolphins, visual and sonar information is essential. They allow animals to find or avoid one another. Each individual receives information on the environment through the group and retransmits it immediately. Tightening ranks gives the group the greatest visual angle. Dolphins organize their defense by changing the size and form of the group. Decision-taking passes from an individual to the group, the superorganism. When we see these synchronized formations, we can improve our understanding of how dolphins resist to outside threats. In such a society, the mother-young pairs are the most fragile. The afternoon nap is the most dangerous time for the young. The melon-headed whales are capable of mental abstraction. They are capable of predicting things to come, like the time of arrival of a group in a bay. They are capable of knowing when a pod is deployed by listening to the sounds emitted. The melon-headed whale's language completely escapes us. We have barely started to classify the sounds according to the activity. One whistle is to scatter, another is to rest. One thing is sure, one call leads to another. Another certainty. Groups of young learn this culture at the adult sides. and there is a lot to learn. For example, protect their young when faced with danger. And here's a real danger. A young tiger shark coming up from the deep. The specialists act immediately. Scar and Boss act as barriers. The young shark quickly sounds. To test the group's efficiency, our cameraman takes over. The defense is immediately organized. With a few whistles, reinforcements are recalled. They block off the nursery so the young can move around in safety. The dolphin lost in the Hebrides is no longer protected. And yet his pod was just as well organized for defense as the melonheaded whales. How could an animal with such advanced language lose contact with a group? Where does he come from? These tropical waters shelter another group that forms by affinity. The long-snouted spinner dolphin. A group of friends of sorts, friends who are always together. In these groups, it's impossible to maintain strong ties. It's friends first. But other dolphins have taken up residence in these waters. Bottlenose dolphins. For them, any time that is not dedicated to pleasure is lost time. Couples devote themselves to sexual games, even outside ovulation periods. Males go to a lot of trouble to seduce females, and that makes for wonderful ballets. A young male usually moves around with other males of his own age. During mating, we have a rather rare occurrence, but there is no jealousy. The mature males willingly share the favors of the female in heat. Dolphins have sensitive skin. It is often the females who take the initiative in love games. The lovers try to be alone. It's impossible with several excited suitors nearby. The male courts the female for days, even weeks. The more he is affected, the more he dislikes the other males prowling around. He intimidates them by blowing air bubbles through his blowhole or by showing his teeth. One day, a spinner dolphin strays from her group. Like the Scottish dolphin, she will not survive for long alone. By chance, she crosses a group of bottlenose dolphins. Luckily, she is already weaned, and she learns everything from her adoptive group. Her new tutors are mature males who think of nothing but pleasure. In the warm and up to mating, the male caresses the genital area of his partner with every part of his body. The pectoral fins, the tail, the mouth. The spinner dolphin quickly gets a taste for sexual games. She seems to particularly appreciate the nose rubbing and other frontal caresses. The coitus is short. It only lasts from 5 to 15 seconds, but it is repeated several times. But of course, outside ovulation periods, these couplings do not lead to pregnancy. In spite of her different physical characteristics, the spinner dolphin is accepted by the pod. The Dolphin Society gives assistance to all its members, without exception. And this solidarity holds for all situations, in danger as in games. In the Hebrides, the lost dolphin was a common dolphin who didn't have the luck to find an hospitable group. And yet, common dolphins populate all oceans, with the exception of the polar areas. And trying to find refuge in shallow waters, he only found the cumbersome help of an awkward biped. No more games, no more communication. He is prisoner of an intolerable loneliness. Without the protection of the group, he cannot hunt anymore. Suicide was the only way out he could find. He died after several days wandering, rejected by the sea. Our lighthouses couldn't help him find his way home.